पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Rama Rama Hare Hare. So going forward, Shri Gopakumar. Let me share my screen. Till then, anybody wants to say where Gopakumar is or what happened?
Mataji, I can do today.
Yes, Jan.
Okay, so Mataji, in last class, Gopakumar was waiting outside the gate, and he was paying obeisances to all the devotees who were rushing in to going inside to see Lord. And he was waited until some senior devotees they came and brought him inside. There he saw so many big golden gates, and he saw different creatures like they were very different, like four-headed and two-headed, four-headed, eight-headed. Even he saw the thousand-headed Sheshnag there, and then yeah, they were all very humble, and they were seeking permission for the senior devotees to let him go inside. And then when he reached and when he was going inside, all the devotees they were teaching him all the etiquettes when you will go and see Lord, how to behave. So finally he reached inside the palace. There he saw Rama Devi and Harini Devi there, and
Dharani, yes.
Harini Devi. They were serving Lord, and then finally he saw Lord. Lord was seated on the white swan, and it was
He
like
was not
gold.
seated on white swan. It was golden throne. It was just the color. The bolsters were so white, like the color of the swan.
Oh, okay. That point I missed then.
No
Okay,
problem.
then when he finally saw Lord, he became so ecstatic. He just rushed, and he just ran towards Lord, and he forgot all the etiquettes, mm, which senior devotee taught him. But in between, only he fainted. He fainted and lost his consciousness. And then when he regained his consciousness, he heard a very soft voice of Lord. Lord was talking to him, and Lord was saying, "Oh, dear Gopakumar, please wake up and please regain your consciousness. You don't need to show any etiquettes. You don't need to feel awe and reverence. Come on, and just let's have talk like a friends." So
Jai,
this,
Jai, Haribol. Thank you, thank you. Yes, Shri Gaurang.
thank you, Mataji.
The Supreme Lord said, "Welcome, welcome, my dear boy. I am fortunate, most fortunate to meet you here. For so long I have been eager to see you."
Jai. Anita Mataji, you want to call out? Amritanand
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji knows this.
Amritanand Mataji.
My dear friend, you have passed many lifetimes without paying any attention to me at all.
For
I
so long, hope had me dancing like a fool, thinking perhaps in this lifetime, or this, he will finally turn his face towards me.
Leela Mataji is there.
The
Yeah.
commentary.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Even though Gopakumara had forgotten his Lord for many lifetimes, the Lord had never forgotten him. The Lord wanted Gopakumara to know this and also to know how eager the Lord had always been to regain the association of his devotee.
Jai. Leela
But
Mataji.
I, yeah, yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Mataji. But I could not, sorry, but I could find no pretext on which to bring you to my abode, dear brother, and still follow the timeless laws that I myself have created.
Hmm.
You showed me no mercy, and as I considered this, I grew impatient. full of anxiety to receive your favor. So I transgressed my eternal code of conduct and arranged for you to take your current birth.
Can you imagine the Lord saying this to us? He grew impatient that he really had to cross his own laws to bring us back. Oh Krishna, what all difficulty we give him.
Priya Mataji.
Yeah. Dear boy, dear boy, in that divine district of Govardhana, my most beloved abode, I myself became your guru, known by the name Jayanta. The Lord does not interfere with the independence of the rebellious jivas. He mostly leaves the responsibility for reforming them to the Vedas and Vaishnavas. But ultimately, it is His mercy that saves the conditioned souls. The Supreme Lord interfered with the Gopakumara's karma by making Gopakumara take birth at Govardhana Hill, in the words of Lord Brahma.
Yeah, actually, sorry. It's just the Lord Brahma describes how the Lord is more merciful. He arranges for all that situations to happen favorable in our life. So in Bhagavatam, those verses are there. That's what is mentioned.
Today, you have at last fulfilled the desire I have harbored for so long. Please nourish your happiness and mine by staying here forever. Here the Lord says in all humility, what good I have ever done for you, but you have done the greatest good for me by coming here. The Lord hopes that Gopkumara will forget the discontentment that has impelled him to wander from one place to and will instead remain peaceful.
Neeta Mataji, could you keep your phone muted? Sorry. Yeah, if you all are not reading, just mute your phone. So it will- thank you, thank you. Yeah, go ahead, Anita Mataji.
Okay, Mataji, I'm done.
You're done. So the point here is like, what good have I ever done for you? How can the Lord say that, right? Like with all humility. Well, I don't know. This is like embarrassing situation for each jiva when we have to face this for the Lord to say to us that what good have I ever done for you? Hey Krishna. Everything we breathe, whatever we are, it's by his causeless mercy. And still he feels he has not done enough for us. Jai.
Sashikala Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Sri Gopakumara said, maddened by drinking the beverage of the Supreme Lord's words, so intoxicating, I was unable to offer him praise or to understand or do anything.
I guess each one of us will be like that. If Lord is going to speak like this, even if we can slightly think if our Guru Maharajas would speak to us like this, we would be like, oh Krishna, this is not the right thing. We are the papis, the sinners who have not taken shelter and running away from you. But this is the Supreme Lord who is speaking like that. Hey Krishna.
Vasantaras Mataji is not here.
Okay.
So Vallavi Gopi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Just in front of us appeared a number of players dressed as cowherds like me. They very affectionately encouraged me, gained my trust, pulled me into their midst, and urged me to play my flute.
This is so beautiful.
Risha Mataji.
Mataji. Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. In various styles, I played this very dear flute of mine, born on Govardhana Hill, and in this way I satisfied the ocean of all skillful arts, the reservoir of all mercy, Sri Madhava, along with his associates.
Yeah, could you please read this part, Mataji highlighted?
Yes, Mataji. Gopakumara refers to this flute because he is holding it in his hand even while instructing his student in Bhauma Vrindavana. This implies that his flute, born a bamboo on Govardhana Hill, is imperishable.
So when they say that even if we should not bring even a small rock or leaf from Vrindavan or Mathura, that's what they mean. They are all not normal personalities. They are all such special to have taken birth in the Dham. So nothing is ordinary in the Dham. Jai.
Neeta Mataji. Neeta Mataji, are you there? I saw her.
Neeta Mataji, could you hear?
Oh, she left.
Yeah, she's not here, Mataji.
Oh, yeah, she's back.
Back, okay.
Neeta Mataji, are you here?
Sorry, Mataji, I'm listening today.
Okay, Mataji. Okay, Mataji. Then Payal Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, Mataji. When the time came to stop, everyone on the request of Lakshmi Devi started to leave, but I didn't want to go. The devotees had to pursue me to let them assort me outside.
Escort me outside. So now it's time for the Lord to take rest. So Lakshmi has to take care of that part. Yeah.
Richa Mataji.
Is it my turn, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Though, like everyone else in Vaikuntha, I was approached by transcendental opulences. I avoided them. I refused to show even the splendors that spontaneously appeared within me. I resided there in the same form I had always had, that of a cowherd boy.
This takes a lot of determination to stay like that, right? Wow.
Neeru Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Do, right? Do
In
like.
Vaikuntha.
Okay. In Vaikuntha, all opulences are purely spiritual, full in eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Appearing whenever one desires, they willingly submit themselves to one's control.
Jai. Anyone else who has joined and did not read so far? Okay. Thus, there is opulence even in what seems like its absence. And when opulence is visible, the devotees still feel as if they possess nothing. That is the special nature of Vaikuntha. Wow. I just want to read a little bit. Every Vaikuntha Vasi has access to personal control over infinite energies, whether he chooses to display them or not. So, this is really amazing.
In any case, by the strong influence of my previous practice, I continued to pay serious attention to my worship of the Supreme Lord and always happily behaved like an insignificant person.
Yeah, Krishna.
In my heart, I then concluded that by the great mercy of Lord, I had now surely gained the ultimate fruit to be acquired from all my prior births and endeavors.
Mm.
Gayatri Mataji.
Oh, what unimaginable happiness! What an exalted abode! What a wonderful master! And how greatly wonderful his mercy!
After some time, by the Lord's kindness, I obtained the intimate personal service of fanning him with a chamara, and I constantly felt the bliss of seeing the Lord as I played for him on my flute.
Yeah, could you please read the commentary, Mataji? It's really very nice.
At first, Gopakumara could see. 1 minute, Mataji.
Yeah.
At first, Gopakumara could see Lord Narayana only in a brief audiences. After this initial training, however, he was allowed a regular service at the Lord's side. He earned this privilege not by his own qualifications but by the Lord's causeless mercy, Krupaya. In addition, by virtue of being a naturally expert flute player, Gopakumara had the rare privilege of entertaining Lord Narayana.
This is so sweet, and it's always said that Lord's mercy is so costless mercy is so important, and it's actually freely available to everyone. Jai.
By the habit of my past practice, I would sometimes loudly repeat in various ways, O Krishna, Gopala.
Mataji, a little bit of this. I'm sorry that I didn't do this part before.
These two names of the Lord, Krishna and Gopala, were so dear to Gopkumara that he found innumerable ways to chant them.
This is so sweet.
Mataji?
Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. I always sang openly in excellent prayers of his activities in Gokula, which reveal his greatest glories.
Yeah, could you also read
Yeah,
that?
sure. Gokula is Vrajabhumi, the land of Madhura, with the all attractive performance of Sankirtana. Gopakumara described for Lord Narayana the Lord's own childhood pastime in Gokula.
How sweet.
The residents of that place, laughing with hearts melted by affection, often came to me when I was outside the Lord's presence, and he spoke to me in no uncertain terms, like teachers instructing a student.
The residents of Sri Vaikunta said, "You should not address the Lord of Lords like this, and don't sing his praises that way. Just recite the standard prayers about his unlimited, most amazing glories."
Yeah, so they don't want him to say, Hey Gopala, Hey Krishna. They feel those are inferior to the name Lord Narayan. Okay. So we can associate this if we come from a different background, like awe and reverence is always considered superior than the spontaneous bhakti. That's how the Raga Marg was not appreciated and this dham at this point.
Vallavi Gopi Mataji.
Pallavi.
Yes, Mataji. To annihilate the wicked and protect the civilized, and to cheat Kamsa, the Lord disguised himself as a cowherd by his illusory energy. But Gopakumara's advisors honestly believe that the Supreme Lord of all lords is never actually such a degraded creature as a cowherd.
So for them to call the Lord as a Vaishya, as a cowherd, is like putting the Lord's power down. So they don't want him to address that in that way. Like they just don't want to remember the Lord of all those pastimes actually. So this discussion I was having with my Prabhu, and we were trying to say like how even for us, for those who rebellious of the Lord has made such a vast arrangement for us to enjoy this material world. Then what about those who want to exchange rasas in a particular way, like this awe and reverence? Then he also manifests that platform for them. So all the spiritual and the material manifestations is to facilitate the jiva's reciprocation with the Lord. So we have to understand that only then they feel completely satisfied and they stay there, and the rest of the other rasas don't feel great in their heart. So there is always variegatedness in our reciprocation to the Lord. Sirisha Mataji.
Devotees of the Lord have little regard for tales of his illusory affairs. Such narrations may be suitable in the beginning of devotional practice, but they do not factually glorify the Lord.
For the Vaikuntavasis, the pastimes of Golok Dham, the Gokul Dham down here is not considered like glorification. For them, the Purusha Sukta, all those prayers is what makes them feel like they're really glorifying.
Mataji, can I read?
Yeah, who missed? Nita Mataji, yes.
Yeah, thanks, Mataji. But some of those residents of Vaikuntha said, among the Lord's inconceivable activities, those playful pastimes are also his. So there is no fault in chanting about them.
So every dham, there are 2, 3 parties. Not everybody is of the same thought. So now again, there is another party who is saying it's okay. Lord's playful pastimes are also nice to talk. So let's see what happens.
Payal Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Then a few extremely exalted devotees stopped all the others and angrily said, "Really, why are you talking like this, as if you had no intelligence?"
Mm.
Krishna is so kind to his devotees that Sankirtana of any of his activities is glorious and beneficial and satisfying to our divine master.
Neeru Mataji.
Shri, sorry, Shri Gopakumara said, at first the words of the Vaikuntha Vasis had made me feel embarrassed. Then, then I felt satisfied, although in truth the inner core of my heart was not fully appeased.
Mm. I felt somewhat discouraged that I couldn't see the unique form, pastimes, and other features of the lotus feet of my worshipable Lord Sri Gopala.
But then I would see Lord Vaikuntanath, the most exalted knower of everything, as the darling son of Nanda Maharaj. See Lakshmi and Dhara as Radhika and Chandravali, and see the Lord's personal attendants as the young boys of Vraja.
Mm. So he is making up his mind to feel satisfied there.
It my mind will still feel sad because I couldn't see the Lord and his companions play as they do here in the land of Vraj.
Mm.
Occasionally, in the gardens of Vaikunta, I would see my Lord appear as in Vraja, performing his pastimes, and I would see the garlands filled with herbs, herds of cows. At other times, I would see him sitting as usual on his throne in all splendor, but looking just like my Lord Gopala.
Mm. So even cow herding pastime happens in Vaikunta. Wow.
Even so, because I knew that he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and because I remembered that I had come to Vaikuntha Loka, feelings of respect and reverence would arise in me, and these would block my pure love and leave my mind dissatisfied.
Yeah, the circumstances and the dham and your association will bring that certain mood, right? Like in the Brahma Jyoti, he was feeling like he was pulled into the Jyoti. So here, the awe and reverence feeling is what is coming up in his heart all the time.
The special favors I had received from Gopal Dev in my meditation, his embraces, his kisses, the mercy I had directly obtained. Oh, these I couldn't have here, though they are what I desired, and so I felt afflicted. Gopakumara expected the object of his devotion to reciprocate with affectionate embraces, kisses, and intimate humorous talks, but these were not forthcoming from Lord Narayan.
There is very high expectation here. Yes.
Sometimes the Lord would secretly go somewhere with a few of his intimate associates. Then everyone else who had been near him would lament, unable to see their master.
So there are situations where he is not allowed in that inner circle.
When I would ask what the Lord was doing on these outings, everyone would keep the facts from me like privileged secrets. No one would disclose anything clearly.
Yeah, because this is the, if you read this part, Mataji, the commentary, we'll know why they did not say it. Go ahead and read.
Despite his earnest inquiries, no one told Gopakumara where Lord Narayan had gone or why. Anyone who knew was unwilling to discuss the subject openly, because making public news of the private pastime of the Supreme Lord could disrupt the reverential mood of Vaikuntha.
Yeah, like the king's plan, everybody doesn't have to know, right? So that's how it is there.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Then at the very moment I inquired, the Lord of the universe would reappear before us, putting our distress to an end and expanding our joy to an ocean.
So as soon as the Lord came, all his questions also vanished, and again he felt happy. Vallabi Gopi.
Yes, Mataji. Whenever my mind, by its own nature, would become disturbed, the vast splendors of the Vaikuntha world would dispel my agitation as the sun dispels darkness.
So would you like to read this commentary too?
Yes, ma'am. Gopakumara's mind remained restless because in Vaikuntha he was unable to find the object of his desire.
The desire is so strong.
Yeah. Whenever it seemed that I had not achieved the object of my desire, and when my heart would therefore suffer, as it often had before, I would remember the root cause of my incompleteness, and that understanding itself would drive away the pain.
Yeah, please go ahead, Mataji, with this. This is really nice.
The, the dissatisfaction Gopakumara felt in Vaikunta had been arranged to help him progress further to a world even more special and dear. There he would discover the final success of his worship of Sri Madanagopala's lotus feet. Meanwhile, the powerful influence of Vaikunta kept him from feeling much distress, even though he had not yet attained his goal. By his intelligence, he could discern that the cause of his suffering was his desire to reach a special place beyond even Vaikunta, and this understanding was enough to pacify him for the time being. He knew that now that he had reached Vaikunta, he would surely feel fully satisfied, if not at once, then after only a short while.
So this sentence says that Gopakumar doesn't know if there is something beyond Vaikuntha at this point. So that's how he's not hankering for anything other than that, because he's not aware of anything above this planet at this point. Okay, so he's trying to talk to his mind now to say that be satisfied and be happy here now.
I have not the slightest doubt. I would tell my mind there is no attainment more desirable than living here in Vaikuntha. So why even raise the question?
Yeah, please the commentary, Mataji. We will.
Yeah. Gopakumara would address his own mind like this. No one should question the established conclusion of the Vedas that Vaikuntha is the highest destination of the soul.
Yeah, so at this point, with his knowledge and understanding, he feels this is the highest destination. So we'll pause here, and any reflections we can take.
So Mataji, Gop Kumar is not satisfied because he wants
That
the
exchange,
Lord of his desire. Yeah, he wants
more
the Madan
intimate
Gopal
exchange.
form. Yeah, the Madan Gopal form to exchange with him, right? So,
Yes.
but he doesn't know where he will find that form.
Yeah,
He
he
doesn't
doesn't.
know. So he is dissatisfied, but he doesn't know the solution to his dissatisfaction.
Yes, yes, Mataji. He, like, we know there is something above, but he has no clue, right? Like he's just knowing one step, and he's going from one place to next.
So Mataji,
Yes.
like in Gokul Dham, Krishna gives this much, this much reciprocation and this much, like Gopakumara was desiring for, personal attention. Or so there it is there. It is.
Yes, that's where his heart is hangering. And when he's chanting, he's actually also feeling that. That's what he's saying. I got those kisses and hugs and intimate talks. He was already feeling as he's chanting it. So he's looking for that in a real form now. During his chanting itself, he's feeling those intimate exchanges with the mantra, the Lord reciprocating with him. So he's looking forward to match that feeling in reality, which has not happened yet.
So Mataji, same chanting he was doing there, Vrindavan, and now he is doing the same chanting in Vaikuntha, but he is feeling different. Is it?
Same feeling everywhere. It is the same feeling of him towards the Madan Gopal, and that mantra is revealing more and more with his purity increasing as he's going from one dham to another. So we also read previously, right, that influence of the dham, his chanting became more intense and he could focus more better, and he could see the form of the Lord of Madan Gopal when he was actually chanting. So his consciousness is also being raised by the power of the dham and the presence of the Lord, no doubt. Like for us in the beginning also, right, like when we started chanting, to that day to now, if we have some realizations coming in, that's with the blessings of the devotees. And if we really had put some endeavor, we see the reciprocation also, like our chanting has got better at some point. So for him, with that, like when you chant in the temple, you always feel like it's awesome chanting in the Brahma Muhurta in the temple in the Mangalarti, right? So
That's
the
right.
dham
Always.
and the blessings gets that same, the mantra is the same, but how we approach, then the Lord reciprocates. Anybody wants to add, Mataji's?
Mataji, I have a question. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, please.
So Mataji, like when Gopakumara recited, I mean, he called out Gopala, Krishna, and then there are two kinds of devotees. Like, I mean, one set of devotees, they said, hey, don't call out Krishna, Gopala, just call out in like formally, like like slokas or like whatever they have, like call out formally. That is not the right way to call out. And the other set of devotees, they said, oh, Krishna, Gopala is good. I mean, it's okay to call, it's nice, that's good, you're calling out the names of Lord. So I'm just trying to understand. So there are people who understand this and don't understand this. So I was wondering, I thought in this is the loka for, I mean, this is the Vaikuntha loka for who, where they worship with awe and reverence, right? So still they know about Krishna and Damodara.
Yes.
Like, I mean, Krishna and Gopala, when he called out, that love.
Even before coming to Krishna
That intuition.
consciousness, yes, even before coming to taking up Krishna consciousness, we all have worshipped Krishna. In India, we all have gone to the temple of Krishna and we have done artis. We have bowed down. We have seen Radharani as worshipable, and we may not have asked about the Ras Leela or questioned that, but we did have that awe and reverence feeling in the temple of Krishna too. But maybe we have not heard about the intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna, or even his playful pastimes, or we just did it like worshipping Lakshmi Narayan also, or any the Supreme Lord in any form. We would have also worshipped Krishna in his temple like that. But once the Raganuga Bhakti is emphasized, when the classes we hear in our ISKCON and we understand the mood of the Lord, then we are able to even tap that aspect of that fun part of the Lord. We love when he's Girivaradhari, because that is protection, not the playing part more of. So that, like when he's killing demons, we love that because that shows power. That's what is emphasized more before coming into, like in my life at least, and whomever I speak new, they like the killing demons part because that shows us power. But they're like playing stealing butter and all that, they don't feel it's as a great pastime to discuss about, because that is more rasa on that level. That is exchange of love and intimacy with the Lord and his devotees. So even us, we have evolved, I feel, from before ISKCON and prior, what pre and post. Anybody else wants to share on that, Mataji's? So there's always the difference will be there, like in it's everywhere in the planets. Even we saw the Brahmajyoti and the Maharloka, there were people set of devotees who were agreeing with the concept of worshipping in the rasa and not in that. So they're not saying it is right and wrong, but there will be classes of people, even in our Prabhupada, in our movement, they will say, this is what Prabhupada said, this is what you got to follow. So Chaitanya Charan Prabhu would always say that there is time, place, and circumstances. Like you just don't take a letter of Srila Prabhupada and just quote it anywhere and say that this is what it is. but he also did it as an acharya based on time, place, circumstances. So there are some rules that are not universal, they're specific, but some rules are. So even within our own ISKCON, when we have the philosophy is one, but we have differences of opinion because we all have different desires and different intelligence, I can say, and different baggages, and we are in different steps in that process actually. So we don't fall in one category, right? Like each one of us don't fall in one category. So like that, everywhere the individuality of the soul exists. That's my understanding, Mataji, as far as this question goes. So even in Vaikunta, they all are wonderful devotees, but their understanding also varies, but always for sure higher than what we know. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Anybody else wants to add, please go ahead.
Mataji, in Vaikuntha, the Lord is in Narayana form. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
So Narayana form is like Vishnu.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, he has so many names too. So like, yeah, we don't have to have that picture that we see is what he has to. It's not like that. He has four-armed form, official form that he sits on the throne, and it's like, it's not like a painted picture. This is all he can be like. We can sit here, we can be in our nightie, we can be in our chudidar or sari, or like how we have our own presentations. So the Lord, but he's always in that, the mood of the dham is awe and reverence. Like he has that kingly order, but he's not stopping anybody from approaching him. Like how he said, Gopakumar, you can be my friendly and talk. Like the king can tell some of his ministers, can have a friendly dealing with some of the ministers, but the ministers know what their position is and what the Lord's position is. They will never cross that boundary. That's why they are in that dham. They don't loosely cross it. The
And
Lord,
Mataji, also because they wanted that, right?
they wanted
That was their desire, that they want to be in that setting, right? That is why they are there. That is why they are there, right?
Exactly, Mataji. This example in my personal life, once what happened is my mom, she is very strict Sri Sampradaya follower. So when she saw me on the, like she loved that I'm taking up all these services and all, but when she saw me doing Aarti on the altar in Alachua temple, she was, when she saw my doing it, she was fine. But when she saw me on the altar, she was like, why are you on the altar? Like when I cooked the dinner for the Lord, and then I went, we did the dressing, and then one day my Prabhu does, one day I do, like we all take exchanges, right? So she always mostly saw my Prabhu doing it, because by the time I'll be exhausted and he'll come out, and I would usually, the curtains will be closed and I'll go to put the lordships to rest, which she never knew. She was the other side of the curtain. But one day I somehow had a desire and I said, I'll do the Aarti. So she saw me and she could not digest it. So somehow she said, you didn't have to go on the altar. Like, why do you have, like I said, I'm anyway on the altar. You see me or not, but I'm there addressing the Lord, putting him to rest and offering. So that was for her like not digestible. Like she said, there is like, there has to be, she said, your Prabhu can go, but you should not go. And it went on back and forth, back and forth. And so then I understood, like she's happy with what she is doing, and to think of another role, it was not giving her happiness actually. Even though I am her daughter, I thought she is going to be super happy today seeing me on the altar, but it was not the case. It was very revealing for me.
Yeah, because that gives her happiness, right? That you that she is cooking or she is doing something that is her
Yeah.
area of expertise with the
Yeah.
Lord and her dealing with the Lord. So she
Yeah.
relishes that.
Yeah, that is okay. But she doesn't want me on the altar because she sees only the males can go. Like in Shri
Yeah.
I cannot go on the altar. So she's like, she thought that I am the Maryada Vyatikram, what do you say, you are
Yeah.
boundary, which
Yeah.
you cannot be doing. So I couldn't explain her because she was very strong on it. And I didn't, she felt very hurt actually. Like, why does she have to do it? Like, she's already getting the best of everything, and why is she going all this? There was no need. If If there was no one, then it's okay. But when her husband is there, when he's doing it every time, why did she even go?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that thought is there. Like, so the Vaikuntavasis have their this is what I can relate in my life, my own life. So maybe we all have also have those experiences coming from different backgrounds. In India, still no Matajis are allowed on the altar for those similar reasons, where we have our stand and all that, like, anyways. So that's another different story to talk. But each dham has its rules, which the people are willing and happily following it. They don't have a problem, like how every kingdom has its rules. But if the praja has no problem, for them they feel happy following that rules, then somebody else as an intruder trying to change something will cause more havoc there. Yeah.
That is why, Mataji, we say, right? Any of the sampradayas, bona fide sampradayas followers, we respect them because because it's again the same thing. It's the mood is different, but the uh, the process is correct.
Yes, and another point was in our yatras, I wanted my mother to come. She has also not seen Vrindavan, and I was like, if she sees Maharaj, and it'll be really nice. Like, I was like, I want to bring my mother and father along with me for Maharaj Yatra, and they said no to me, and they said, "Oh, rasa bas ho jayega." So they said, when Maharaj is going to dance in Vrindavan, Maharaj's mood is very different. He's not like how he's going to talk one on one or he's going to give class. He will be in a very, very, very different dham absorbed mood. You will see him, but he will not be, he will be in a very transcendental level. And the way he would dance and run in the yatras, only if you appreciate it, because the vibes spread, right? But if you stand there and if you have a questioning look and what is crazy kind of thing, if anybody in that feels, then Maharaj's mood will go away. Like, his dancing and the ecstasy that he's feeling in the dam will kind of disrupt that scenario, like that Brahmana drinking milk we have in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, who was not allowed in that intimate circle of Shiva Sangan because rasa bas ho jayega. That does not give us that what any other rasa coming in will not go well with that, what is intended for that dham. Yes.
Right.
So each one is right in their own way for that dham and that place, time and circumstances. Yes, Nayan Sundari Mataji wanted to say something.
Yeah, Mataji, I was just thinking on the dissatisfaction part that he's having. I mean, we also must be having little bit dissatisfaction here and there. I'm sure everyone that we are not serving how we can. But because I don't know, I'm just giving excuses maybe that because of our family responsibilities, that dissatisfaction just goes back, and we just go with the flow. Whatever is coming, we take it.
I didn't understand yet. Sorry, Mataji. Like, which one were you comparing? Like, our dissatisfaction with Gopakumar's dissatisfaction?
Yeah, Mataji, what I'm trying to say, like how Gopkumar is consistently dissatisfied, aiming that, I mean, hoping that he can get higher than this, higher services so to say, in our case.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. What I understood was, like, when in that commentary it was said that the Lord is giving him that. He's making him feel dissatisfied. The Lord interfering, because in Vaikuntha nobody feels dissatisfied. But the Lord is interfering so that Madan Mohan's mantra's full glories will be revealed in his heart. So for us, maybe it's not the Lord interfering, but it is our own incapabilities and what to say, not feeling completely satisfied due to other situations, because the effect of nature and other urges are not there in Vaikuntha. There is no problems that is causing him or pushing him to be dissatisfied. But for us, we have everything else pushing us: the situation, the family, the people, our own body, our mood, our past stuff. So much urges are like pushing us. But for him, there was nothing and still dissatisfied. And it was mentioned that the Lord is making him feel dissatisfied. So I just thought I'll.
But then, Mataji, why did the Lord make him come to Vaikuntha?
Because he's going in progression, right? He is not going straight. He didn't go straight to the Golok Dham. He didn't aspire directly. It was not revealed to him directly. So he's going in steps. That is the whole, that is why jnana, for us, Prabhupada says that we have to have the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So the science he did not know. So he's taking the risk of, the Lord is revealing the science at every step. He did not have a class on the Mahamantra or the glories and the place where he's going. So science and practice, that spirit and the ritual, that spiritual part, he didn't have that. He directly got the mantra and the journey started. It's moving over.
Oh, so to teach him.
Teach him.
Give him the gyan part.
Yes, the gyan part.
Also, Mataji, Gopakumar, he doesn't have, Srila Prabhupada. So he can go directly.
That's our hope, Mataji, and mercy. Yes. Nowhere else like us is like we don't. There is no other sampradaya that I know of or I have heard of where so much teaching and so much of classes and importance is given, like studying. Like Prabhupada always wanted the temples, as he called it, as schools and colleges and universities. Nobody saw that way. Ours is a revolutionary movement, really. Srila Prabhupada's.
Hare Krishna Mataji, one question. Like then, Gopakumara, he was having transcendental body, I guess. Means only the material body cannot go to the higher planets.
Yes. But he didn't want to give up the body that he that was from his Govardhan place that he got. But that body was transformed into spiritualized body, but that same form he kept. Yes. Even though he could become a four-armed Vishnu, he didn't accept it.
Okay.
Gayatri Mataji, you were going to go forward to say something and I cut you down. Sorry, please.
No, Mataji. No, I was thinking only after quitting this body, only can go to the higher planets, like that. I was thinking.
So it is,
Only after death.
when our own endeavor is there, that is what they say to the Jnana Marg. When you go, when you find your own way and fight and go, then you go till that Brahmajyoti level in the same body you can make it. But after that, you cannot cross with this body, then you give up that and you take the spiritual form and you go further. But here the Lord is arranging. So he is giving him whatever is the best. And if he is willing and he wants to keep that Govardhan body, then he's allowing him to keep it, and but just empowering him. All the while we saw that nothing can hinder for the Lord to show his mercy. He can make himself be seen with the same material eyes. He can give the power to the same eyes to see him. But we cannot see with this material eyes, but the Lord can empower if he wishes so, to use this same eyes and this body to reveal his glories. Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's all Krishna magic at every step.
Yes.
Mataji, I have a question here. Just now you said like every time, every step, like Gopakumara don't want to change his form as cohort by which he got in Vrindavan. So from this one, do we need to take anything like, not changing his desire is going to anywhere positive to his determination, or some light on that one, like, how can, do we need to get any point from that one why he's not changing his body or?
Yes, yeah. The understanding is his body being that body from that Govardhan area, that Mathura place. That is why it is so special, and the Lord loves that form of what he is from the day one. But for us, if we pray that whatever the Lord wants us to be as his instrument, if we are willing to be that in the Lord's hands, then we don't have a problem, because we are not aspiring anyway for any of the Vaikunthas on the way. So we have been trained that you want to go to Golok Dham and to serve the Lord. So we don't want to sit and Srila Prabhupada always said that you don't have to get the Siddha Pranali mantra to know what is your form in the spiritual world. It will get revealed as you chant this mantra. Whatever your form is, this mantra will take you there. So the faith has to be on the mantra, and we don't have to worry what form we are going to be, either female or a male, or I'll be a gopi or a flute or a tree. It's like it's not needed. Like that's how Prabhupada put so much stress on just hear, and just say, just only those two functions, he said, which is so hard for me to practice myself. Like He kept it so simple. Since I'm so complicated, something else happening. But if we get back to our acharyas and our spiritual master, they just want us to hear and repeat, and the mantra will do the magic whenever the right time comes. This is my understanding, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Does anybody else have anything to add to these conversations? Please feel free.
So, Hare Krishna Mataji, I have a question.
Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu. Nine Sudri Mataji, Shikarangi Mataji, please save. And you please go ahead and answer. Yes, Neeta Mataji, go ahead.
Mataji. So while chanting, this is a silly question, maybe Mataji. Sorry. While chanting, what kind of mood we should have to, to get such kind of, the whatever we discussed so far. So just listen and chant and listen, or we have to think about Krishna's pastimes, or how the chanting mood should be. Like, how can we connect?
I'm going to let Nine Sundari Mataji handle and I'm going to hear too, so I have to learn.
Mataji, for chanting, Sri Gaurangi Mataji is the lead. Mataji, please say.
Mataji, I am under all of you. Please don't do this. Please, seriously, don't do this. Come on.
Mataji, what I really adore about one of my devotee friend, she has a prayer written, a piece of paper with specific, I mean, she keeps changing that piece of paper or keep updating, or what she writes there before starting chanting. Like, I don't know if you I have mentioned this before in one of the classes that I gave, that prayer, whenever we start praying, we say prayer in three things can be included in a prayer. Mataji, please forgive if I'm doing some mental speculation. That's what I've observed in Bhagavatam prayers. That first thing is you glorify the Lord. Like in Kunti Maharani prayers, if we see, she starts with saying a lot of prayers. Then one of the one which I remember is Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajanamilane. So she glorifies the form of the Lord and compares it to a lotus flower. And after that, you say where am I struggling in Krishna? So first you glorify the Lord, and then you say this is where I'm struggling in Krishna. And the third would be asking for specific benediction. So that's what I have learned in from my senior, that before starting to chant, you say something specifically, because you can set the mood beginning May before starting to chant. That, say for example, today in my daily life, I encountered a situation where I was feeling egoistic within my family members, say for example. So tomorrow morning when I chant, I try to meditate, oh Krishna, you are so merciful. You are so humble, how we are discussing today's pastime, like how Lord Vishnu is approaching Gopkumara and saying, I've been waiting, and I have not done anything, and it's been so kind of you for you to come here. So just remembering that humble mood, we can beg to Lord that Krishna, oh Supreme, you are so humble, and I'm so fallen that I'm, after hearing so much, and trying to follow your instructions and example, I'm still so egoistic. So please, in my chanting today, I really want to beg you for helping me in this my mood of egoism, and help me develop a humble nature. I mean, this is what I try to do. Hearing something, and based on that, I set up my mood before chanting. And then again, as Mataji said, focus on hearing the mantra. I've heard that we should not be trying to imitate thinking of pastimes, right, Mataji?
Yes. It will be revealed when the time comes. Yes. We don't have to put effort to remember, but if it comes on its own account, then there is no problem.
Can I add something, Mataji? Which
Yes.
I have from devotees. The 5 P's for chanting. So Prabhuji said 5 P's means first P is like preparation. Preparation means where how we need to say it, like which with no disturbances and everything. Second one is posture. Posture means like which posture gives the body comfortable. Then next one is posture, pronunciation. So we need to hear the what we are chanting, like letter by letter, 16 syllables very nicely. Then pronunciation, then comes the prayerful mood in our chanting. So we need to ask the Lord to bring the prayerful mood in us, and we need to hear as what we chanting. Then from this one comes last one is purity. So just I heard in a class, Mataji, I'm sharing. 5 P's for chanting.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you.
No other discussions. We will pause here for today. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaः. Anantakoti Vaishnavi Vrind ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Bhishma Panchaka is coming. The next special event for Karthik. Whatever you all desire is from Wednesday. From the Ekadashi to the Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days, Bhishma Panchaka. So you could read on it, however extra vows we want to take and intensify our chanting. That'll be amazing. Hari Bol.
Mataji, I remember last. Sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
It's already very late.